Hello, my name is Maxine Samone, here to share a touch of Venus with you. I'm going to bring to a collective message. It's timeless. Whenever you're seeing this, this could be for you, or there could be some messages in here for you. How's everyone doing? If you're seeing this on YouTube, thank you for being here. You can like the video to push it out. That would be amazing. Subscribe if you feel called to. And yeah, we're gonna just keep it flowing. Oh yeah, turn the notification bell on so that you can get, notified for new readings. Okay. Angels, ancestors, spirit guides, higher beings of light and unconditional love, Divine Mother, Divine Father, Holy Spirit. What are the best and highest messages for the collective? And if you're seeing this on TikTok, it will be posted to YouTube, so don't worry if you can't stay for the whole thing. I appreciate you being here. Let's see. I'm going to shuffle one more good time. One more good time for the one time. Ooh. Unplug from mass consciousness. Number 7. And then earth healing. On the bottom of the deck, number 38. Simplifies to an 11. This is ground for earth healing. Or earth healing, not ground. Hello, how are you? It's time to get grounded, collective. It's time to get grounded. We're going to read real quick, although I can kind of pick up basically from this image, the card, unplug from mass consciousness, obviously. The collective is going through big shifts, big awakenings. Some people are going through major ego deaths, especially if they've been avoiding the work, all the nudges, or maybe it's just their time to do this amount of work. There are big shifts happening. It's important that you stay elevated in your own frequency, in your own energy. And if you've been scrolling a lot, if you've been around a lot of people, if you've been picking up on their energies, if it's just time to unplug, it feels like, and get grounded. Literally go touch some grass. That's what Spirit is saying. Let me see, number 7. Number 10, hold on. And then we're going to get into the reading. There is a belief system based on fear, doubt, and distrust that is known as mass consciousness. This belief system says it's safer to stay within the crowd, not to question what you have been taught, to accept what you hear in the media, or even in a book, in school, from your employer, from your parents, or your peers. It tells you that you cannot trust the divine to take care of your financial well-being or your emotional needs. It tells you that you should be afraid and not take risks. It tells you that if you dare to stand up and live in your truth, you'll be lost and alone, humiliated, rejected, or even destroyed. You're being guided to unplug from that system of beliefs. You are capable of a more creative, imaginative, realistic, loving, and soul-satisfying way of living. To access this more truthful way, you must let go of the way that is too small for your soul. Period. You are brave and aware enough to think outside the square, beyond what society or your peers may consider normal. That's beautiful. Thank you for the gifts. It's talking about basically fear, transitioning from one way of thinking to another, and breaking out from the norm, You were born to bring a new vibration of thought and awareness to this planet. You're meant to think differently. You will find those who can benefit, even love you for this difference, and those who are challenged or fearful of you for it. Either way, you can love and approve of yourself, nourish those relationships and support you, and practice compassionate detachment from those that do not, without compromising who you are. So it says to keep unplugging, keep, doing the work. It is okay. As I cut the deck for the goddess deck, it says go outside, literally. Touch the grass. Remember who you are, despite what is being shown to you, despite what, society is trying to program into us, or even just the people that are closest to us, that may not be on the same frequency. It's important that we take that time to ground and be in our own energy. We have Diana here as the supporting goddess. Focused intention. Keep your unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions focused on your target, and you will make your mark. That is giving big Sagittarius vibes. On the bottom of the deck, as I shuffled, go outside again. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, apparently we need to be outside, so if you haven't been, due to like weather and all of these things, like fall can have like weird weather, like today was kind of rainy and stuff. The water is healing too, what I'm saying? I don't feel like spirit is like, so what if it's trickling a little bit, let the rain hit your forehead, cleanse the third eye. Let me see. Let the rain cleanse the third eye. There is one card that is the wrong way. Or no, there's a few. Give me 1 second. I'm going to fix these. I like to have my cards facing the same way. Just a little Virgo ting, you know what I'm saying? We like to have things the way that we like them, Actually, I'm going to use this deck, though. Let's see. What areas of life are being affected? Hi, T. How are you? How are you doing? Gonna get into these astrology cards. We love this collective energy that we're tapping into right now because you are a free thinker, and it's important to hold that frequency. That's a lot. That's like a lot of cards. I want like 3, please. Uranus, genius. I love this because Pluto just moved into Aquarius, and Aquarius is modernly ruled by Uranus. Uranus, to me, whenever this card comes out, it's signifying your spiritual genius. It's signifying the downloads that you get from spirit, especially if you are someone that has Aquarian energy. You just like get ideas, you're a very free thinker. You're meant to like lead society in a new way. You're always on the outskirts of society, like the misfit Aquarius thing. But that's where Pluto is moving. That's where we're moving for the next 20 years, so those that are forward thinkers are going to be moved to the front. Well, technically you're always on the front. By being on the outskirts, you are on the front lines, but yeah. 11th house, friends coming out. That is traditionally an Aquarius ruled house. Sorry, it's Mercury retrograde. My words keep doing things, rearranging themselves. But like, then we have endings and beginnings, 8th house in the reverse, and then we also have Gemini, I think, in the reverse. So what's kind of coming through is that the people around you, we've talked about this before in other readings. If you feel called to, go to my YouTube channel, look at my past readings, whichever one, shuffle it. I don't care. Let spirit guide you to whatever reading. There's over 100 of them on there. You know what I'm saying? But like, we talked about this in past readings about people being bridges to different frequencies, different realities, and because we all can tap into different frequencies, like, we are not our thoughts. We can tap into different things, So if your circle is not on the same frequency as you and you keep indulging, you keep engaging, you are essentially accepting that frequency into your life, And so if we don't want that, if we want to separate ourselves from those that are thinking small, that are thinking limited, that are thinking in a scarcity mindset, all those things, like, again, the saying goes like, you are the culmination of like the closest 5 people to you, So, and what's really coming through is like, when it comes to your counterpart, if you wouldn't want to be like your counterpart, the person that you're intimate with right now, why are you with them? You know what I'm saying? If you wouldn't want to be like them, why are you with them? Especially in an intimate container like that. It's like, that is, as on the bottom of the deck, Scorpio, I transform. So you are being called to go on this transformation process. You are the Phoenix rising. You individually, you are in charge. You are responsible for your own frequency, and the actions and the conversations that you decide to engage in are a reflection of the frequency that you are choosing to participate in, you know what I'm saying? Choosing to allow into your life. This is where we start to take like radical responsibility over our life. And this also goes for friends, you know what I'm saying? People that you have in your circle. This is why as you continue to elevate, your circle gets smaller and smaller and smaller. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that there's a few reasons why, but it feels like, to me, one thing that just pops out is like the amount of work that it takes to be in this like truth seeking and authenticity. You need a lot of time alone to be in your own energy and your own thoughts. You know, you need a lot of time alone to cleanse and clear your field, to get grounded. Like you start to spend more and more time alone because you are on the journey of self-mastery, you know? And so not a lot of people, as everyone starts to get focused on their mission, as Diana's saying, if you have focused intentions and like you're spending time alone to cleanse, clear, you know, get your downloads, you know, you're working on your mission, like your social circle is only comprised of those that provide value to your life and that are aligned on the same frequency. And those type of people don't get bothered by boundaries. Those type of people don't get bothered by the fact that you need some time alone. Those people, you know what I'm saying? Because they're on the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So it feels like if you have filler friends, or if you can't cut that situationship or person off that you know is not on the same frequency as you, Spirit is saying it is time to do that. Because what you don't want to do is lower your frequency to be at the same level as of someone, you know, and that's not a better or worse thing. It's choices, you know what I'm saying? It's just choices. And nothing is necessarily a wrong answer. If you choose to, you know, go into this realm or reality of frequency or whatever, then maybe there's something there for you. Maybe there's something for you to integrate, to learn, you know, and then you integrate it and you elevate, you know what I'm saying? It's not a good or bad thing. Okay, let's get into the tarot. I kind of want to go with my gold tarot. I haven't broke it out in a minute. Thank you for the follows. Thank you, thank you. Ooh, and we have the Five of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. That's what we're talking about, the scarcity, the separation timeline. You know, we're not wanting to attune to that right now. Let's see, let's get details, please. Thank you, Spirit. Details, please. Okay. As I say that, okay, what's coming through is the energy is the energy is the energy is the energy. You know what I'm saying? The energy. Queen of Cups, Six of Pentacles. The energy is the energy, meaning like you can feel when someone is not on the same vibe as you, when they cannot give in the same way as you, when they do not have the same energy specifically to give to you, when they don't have the same love to give to you, when they don't have the same truth to give to you, you know, they don't operate in a frequency of truth. They're not honest with themselves. So how can they give that to you? This is this energy of, well, the energy that's showing up in the cards is the energy of reciprocity, of pure energy, of pure intention, of love, of authenticity. And this is clarifying Uranus genius, meaning that your downloads that you get about people, or when you feel that little nudge of that something is off, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is this, you know? Or you will, not just like in the protective way of like something being off, but when you feel that someone, you know, has that energy to be able to reciprocate, to give to you, be open to that, because these are both in the upright. Be open to those connections that can actually give you, you know, what you desire. You know what I'm saying? Because you can give that to them as well. This is a thing of reciprocity. You know what I'm saying? So it's like being open to actually receiving what you feel called to, like, not what you feel called to receive, what you deserve to receive, you know? This is also just giving very like psychic, you know, with the Uranus, the genius, the spiritual genius, the Queen of Cups. She's a psychic queen. It's like the downloads that you're getting, you know, they're valid. They're on point. Your intuition is on point, you know? So if you feel like you are not on the same frequency or on the same wavelength as someone else, but you may be close to them, you know, this is this invitation of, you know, to make adjustments. You know what I'm saying? You said, God is so proud of you, and so am I. Thank you for that beautiful compliment, I guess. Compliment. But yes, I know that because I'm connected to Spirit myself. You know what I'm saying? He said, I am God's chosen one. Yes, we love that. The chosen ones. Let me see. I saw another comment too. Oh, someone's asking a personal question. Personal questions can be booked through my website only. I will not reach out to you. And this is a collective message. So I will continue with the collective reading. But yes, let's clarify 11th house friends. Yeah. It's going to take courage to stand in your truth and your authenticity and your beliefs. You know, despite those that are very close to you. We have the 10 of Cups in reverse and we have the Hierophant in reverse. Again, you are essentially this black sheep. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes, this is giving family, but this is also with the clarifying 11th house friends, social circle. Like you have, this collective has dealt with this energy of feeling outcast, of maybe even going through the wounding of like rejection wounds, you know what I'm saying? Or just wanting to fit in, you know, and even possibly in the past, keeping yourself small or lowering your frequency, maybe not paying attention to your intuitive gifts because it granted you some kind of acceptance. You know, you felt like you had a people close to you, but are people actually close to you if they don't know the real you? You know what I'm saying? That's where we start to feel this thing of like being surrounded by people, but still feeling alone. You know what I'm saying? And it's because if we take, again, radical responsibility for ourselves, are we showing up fully in our truth authentically? If we are showing up authentically, then we give people an opportunity to actually connect with us and reciprocate that energy or not, you know? And once the truth is revealed, we have enough data, this emotional data, to make, you know, decisions from our place of authority of free will, you know? So we do have the Strength card coming out, clarifying this as well. So that's what I'm saying. It's going to take a lot of courage, you know, to lead with your heart, to lead with your self-love, to not self-betray. Okay, ringing my ear, you know what I'm saying? To not self-betray yourself and your gifts, to not self-betray your heart, you know what I'm saying? Because you deserve to feel loved and accepted in a real way, you know, by allowing other people to see you as well. And paying attention to the nudges of when you see people's true colors as well. We had the Chariot kind of popping out, but there was a lot of cards. So we're going to keep going. Thank you for the heart. Yes, crossing this, the challenge position of the endings and beginnings in the reverse. It feels like something is not transitioning. We covered their naked bodies. The Lover's card. Like I said, I feel like I feel like everything I say is for a reason. It's for someone, you know. The people that are close to you. If you do not, you said the braids are so pretty. Thank you. Appreciate it. Ooh, on the bottom of the deck too, 10 of Wands in reverse, releasing a burden. If you are in an intimate relationship with someone that is not on the same frequency as you, that does not speak the same language, and we're talking about language, we're talking about vibes, you know what I'm saying? The energy that you exude, that you can give, you know, that, like, you're not doing yourself a service, you know what I'm saying? By being a martyr, by trying to take somebody with you. If you would not want to be like your partner, if you don't want to have the same consciousness as your partner, if you don't want to move like your partner in this intimate container, you are with the wrong person. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't look up to them in some way, not in a pedestalized way, but if you're not proud of them in that way, you know what I'm saying? You're with the wrong person. You know? Same thing with your friends. You should have interesting friends that reflect all of the interesting things about you. You know what I'm saying? You guys don't have to be exactly the same, but you're very proud of the people in your circle, you know? You said never stop smiling, gang. Never, ever. Ever, ever. But yes, it feels like there's something that is trying to transition. Also, we kind of talked on the topic of like free will, giving people the opportunity of free will, you know, to choose what, if they want to fuck with you or not. If you're like being real with them, you know, are you showing up in your authenticity? Is this person showing up in their authenticity? And it feels like you've been feeling that the energy may be off. We have the moon and then we have the Page of Cups in reverse. It's like you can feel it. You can feel the energy is off, maybe in this intimate connection, but you haven't been able to put your finger on it. And Spirit is saying you have spiritual genius. You are getting the downloads. It's little whispers. Little whispers. It doesn't have to be this inflamed, like fiery, you know, like someone crossed you and I knew it, you know, my intuition was right. No. Follow your nudges before it gets to that point. That is the point of your intuition, to keep you out of the line of fire. You know what I'm saying? So if you're feeling that the energy is off and you can't necessarily see, you can't put your finger on why, Spirit is saying, please trust your nudges. You know what I'm saying? Because, yes, we have success here when it comes to, well, let me get one more. Well, I mean, we're talking about success and following your nudges. And I was just saying, Spirit is saying, like, please follow them. They're like, yes. Like, not just that, but like recognize, validate your own intuition. Don't wait for a situation outside of yourself to validate your intuition. Validate yourself. Validate your own inner authority. You know what I'm saying? We have 7 of Pentacles in reverse and we have 2 of Cups in reverse. Yes, this is specifically talking about an intimate connection. It could be a close friend. It could be, but we have the Lovers and the 2 of Cups. That's giving a lover, you know? But it feels like 7 of Pentacles in reverse. It's like this impatience in revealing the truth. And right now, like I said, this message is timeless, collective. Whenever anybody sees this, it's meant for them. But if we can refer to the current energy that the collective is in right now, we're in Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius. The truth will be revealed. Whatever was not said previously will be revealed. And it just feels like maybe there's this connection that the truth, like this authenticity that you're in, collective, is being revealed. Your nudges are revealing the truth. Are you going to validate your own intuition before you allow yourself to get sucked into a lower vibration, and then you're validating your intuition through catastrophe, through the line of fire? You know what I'm saying? Through, damn, I knew I was right this whole time. And then that can easily turn into like this internalized like thing where it's like beating yourself up for not following your intuition. It turns into like this rage or like this anger. And sometimes it can be misplaced. It can be you can be angry at that person, maybe for the act, but you're mainly angry at yourself for not trusting those nudges. You know what I'm saying? And then it turns into a whole ugly other thing that it doesn't have to be if you just follow your nudges. You know what I'm saying? You said, oh, this is on point, period. I love that. I love that. Yes, I feel the energy. They're saying right now, they're inviting you to follow your nudges when it comes to this situation. And also you following your nudges, like these intuitive hits about when to leave, when to, you know, all those things. You said entertaining my ex, intuition says no. Girl, I feel you. You know what I'm saying? The Mercury retrograde hits different. Exes pop out the woodworks, you know? But it's like once you start to trust those things, because you start to trust yourself to keep yourself out of bad situations, it also leads into the positive. I mean, that's positive as well, but like the fun side is like you'll also start to trust your nudges about like, maybe I should do this thing. Maybe I should do this project. Maybe I should, because you start to just trust yourself holistically. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me approve this comment. It says, why does Mercury retrograde get us? Explain. Okay, so Mercury is the planet of thinking and communication, right? And when you look at a chart, a planet is moving in its cycle forward, 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 forward. When it retrogrades, that means it's moving backwards. So like planet is rotating like this, and retrograde is rotating the other way. So it's an invitation to rethink, regroup, recollect, all the words, you know what I'm saying, to just go back and assess a situation. So Mercury retrograde, a lot of times people do not close out situations, especially like intimate situations, relationships, and relationships are a big part of life, like a huge part of life, you know? And so X's pop up for us to address things that were not addressed, or to correct things that weren't corrected, or in this case with Mercury retrograde being in Sagittarius, for a truth to be revealed that wasn't necessarily revealed maybe then, or like I said, validating your intuition, giving you that clarity about like, okay, I wasn't tripping before, like you really are a weirdo. You know what I'm saying? Like, and all of these things, like actually just it's in Sagittarius is very blunt, it's very straightforward. It gives you the opportunity to move with a certain sense of freedom because you know what you're dealing with, you know? And so if you didn't really know, if you ever had any questions about a person, or maybe you internalized again a lot of those feelings, you know what I'm saying? You said, okay, makes sense, I just didn't fully know, and freaking valid. You can't see me, but I'm nodding my head. Yes, I feel like if there's any, to me, especially concerning like this Uranus, you know, psychic abilities kind of thing coming out and being like, yes, like your intuition is on point. It's saying to me that there was probably, especially concerning an ex, if there was a situation that you internalized, you know, like you beat yourself up for, if there's questions of if you overreacted or whatever, because you were inflamed due to like a boundary being crossed, or, you know, maybe having not addressed certain things that you knew intuitively until like it built up. And then it was, you know, all of a sudden the focus is on how you're reacting and not actually validating your intuition. You never got that validation. This is coming back around to give you the truth on a platter and being like, you were never crazy. Your intuition was always on point. You know what I'm saying? And you should trust yourself over what somebody else is telling you, because the lower frequency of Sagittarius is very much like scammy. You know what I'm saying? It's giving con artist low key. They're really good with Sagittarius is also they're very good at reading energy and studying people, you know? And so the lower frequency of that is being able to kind of puppet master things, you know what I'm saying? So if you felt like you were being gaslit or manipulated or not understanding or seeing something clearly, you know what I'm saying, then that is the lower frequency. But we're saying at the beginning of this reading too, like unplug from mass consciousness, the whole first part was saying like, don't allow yourself to seek into a lower frequency. What is the higher frequency of Sagittarius? You know, master teacher, knowledge through wisdom, through experience. I've already gone through this. What did I learn? You know, how can I apply this in a real way? How can I show up in my authenticity and my truth? How can I teach people through this? You know, how can I teach myself? You know, all those things. You said, well, he showed up to my work after hours today and it weirded me out. I'm telling you, they're popping out the woodworks. It's like the signal has just gone out. Like all of these things are going to start happening. So, you know, being your authority, you know, you said, yes, queen, yes. I've always thought he was a con artist. I'm a Sagittarius rising. Shit, I'm being called out by the universe. Sagittarius rising is a beautiful placement to have, actually, especially, you know, some people may not agree with me, but I feel like women have an easy, I want to say an easier time, but I just see a lot more women more practicing or embodying the higher frequency of certain energies. Not saying that men can't, it's just, I have seen the pattern of, you know, seeing the higher elevated, embodied, you know, frequency of a certain energy through women. And like women with the Sagittarius rising, chef's kiss, you know what I'm saying? When you guys are in your truth and elevated and doing the work, you know, because Sagittarius also certified crash out, you know what I'm saying? Certified crash out and just move on to the next thing, you know, but also I don't know. This isn't a Sagittarius reading. I'm just saying. But, it just feels like when you start to validate yourself. Yes, Sag men. Yes. Man. I've dealt with one Sag man, and he was really good with the mind things. You know what I'm saying? They're very smart. They're very, very smart. Almost to their detriment sometimes. They can outsmart themselves. You know what I'm saying? And you said, what's a Sag? Sagittarius. La 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 la. Oh yeah, thanks, beautiful soul. Trying to stay within the high vibration. Yes. Oh yeah, they be working magic. Yes. No, you're good. But I feel like my son is a Sagittarius. So I am getting a crash course in all of the things, And I'm like, we're not doing this. If I see you on that, I'm calling it out. You know what I'm saying? I can't have you acting like this. He's going to be 10 soon. But, Page of Wands. Oh, well, I was saying you validate your intuition and you feel good. And you're like, knowing that you're not crazy. Finally, you're living in your truth, your authenticity. You're getting like those, good nudges to stay out of the bullshit. You can follow the joy as well, the intuitive nudges that lead you to joy. And it feels like when we have that start coming in, we have the Page of Wands, and then we have the Eight of Wands, so that's forward movement, that's fast movement. That's, again, like when you notice like how you can shift your energy, then it's like, again, that focused intention. It's like, okay, like I caught the bullshit, I moved away from it, now boom, I'm in alignment again, My oldest turns 10 in March. Yes. The little babies. I felt so much better when I had him blocked. Girl, who you telling? Girl, I feel crazy. I just got that download. Oh, yes. The downloads are coming in heavy. They're coming in big. They're coming in massive. Like, again, Sagittarius is a very expansive energy. So it's meant to break you open, to show you this truth so that you can be open to receiving what's in alignment with you, So old babies, I know it's kind of crazy. It's just like, oh, like you're actually not a baby anymore, but it's like you're in a growing body, but your mind is still a kid, It's like, sometimes it's like, it kind of throws me off a little bit. As we're talking about all this Sagittarius stuff, we have Temperance come out. That is a Sagittarian card. So, like we said, if we use our intuition to keep us out of the line of fire, and then we use our passionate intuition, that spark of fire, that excitement, and we follow that, we get in alignment, and then we have divine assistance. We have things being in flow, things being in harmony. The expansive energy starts to come in, As we release this burden, as we release this burden of confusion, literally we have burden, and then we have Five of Swords in reverse, releasing the confusion of the burden, because it's not confusing, Spirit, it's not confusing, Source, it's not confusing, Truth, what I'm saying, it's not confusing, all of those things. Once we release the burden of choosing confusion, because it's like choosing to be in this like gaslighty, like low frequency energy that we just talked about, we choose to not allow that into our life. Excuse me, a confirmation burn. We choose not to like align with that frequency, and then clarity comes in. And then we literally have Four of Wands. That's a celebration. That's feeling safe at home. It's a coming home to yourself. When you choose, all those things I said are not confusion. What's also not confusing is what makes you feel good. That's what clears the confusion. When you tap back into yourself, when you take that space, time, and distance, that's one good thing a Sagittarius taught me, is that was their little saying, is like, when I get confused, I take space, time, and distance, because we know Sagittarius like to run away. You know what I'm saying? They like to run. But he said that he does that for like specifically space, time, distance. When you take that time for yourself, you can think clearly. you can ask yourself, how do I feel about this situation? And then there is no confusion, because at the end of the day, I feel like this. Despite what information you're presenting me, despite how you may be trying to convince me otherwise, despite whatever I even committed to, whatever I promised, whatever I agreed to at one time, I am at liberty to always change my mind and be free and practice my free will. And if this is not making me feel good, I do not want to do it anymore. You know what I'm saying? And that is that simple, you know, but it's like, it's not simple because we allow, you know, our loyalties and our things to get in the way of being in alignment with ourselves. You know what I'm saying? You said beautiful things haven't been going as well since I left him back in. Big signs, or since you let him back in, big signs to let him go. Yes, you said, oof, I like that. That's what I'm doing right now. Thank you, Spirit. Praise Spirit, period. But yes, it's like coming back home to ourselves. Oof, walking away. Spirit is like, and I got chills as I'm saying this. They're coming in so clear. This is definitely Sagittarian energy. It's like, again, truth on a platter. Walking away from, or Eight of Cups, walking away from and not looking back, finally closing the door, a good final time, because you're being presented with all the information, whatever information that you felt like you had to only rely on your intuition for, and it allowed room, because you weren't trusting your intuition, it allowed room for other people to come in and try to help, like, create space between your knowing and you. Spirit is saying, no, the tangible evidence is coming in on a platter. The truth, conversation probably, is coming in, and they're going to say exactly what you need to say, or what you need to hear, or they're going to say something that clicks it in place of like, oh, this is who you are. Oh, this is how you actually feel. Oh, this is what this actually is. You know, does this align with me? Does it make me feel good? And it looks like the answer is no, because you walk away from what feels like breadcrumby energy, you know, because we have Page of Pentacles in reverse. This person doesn't have anything to offer you, ultimately. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is why it's coming off as a burden, because you're putting in all this effort and this energy, you know, to like, again, collaboration. You're showing up in the spirit of like the energy of collaborating, of like, I want to do something. I want to build something. And it's like, this person isn't actually giving you anything. We have the Star here coming out as well. Let me get one more of the Star. And we have the Knight of Cups. The Three of Cups in reverse. It feels like, my nose always gets so itchy now during readings. That's something new. The Star. Looking forward into the future. It feels like you're moving away from like a third party type of energy. And the third party energy could be literal like third party, but to me it's kind of showing up as you being split in consciousness of like a past and a future. And so it's like, you said your nose was itching too. Maybe it's you. Maybe you're making my nose itch. But it feels like being split between realities, and that's where the confusion is coming in, because you're wanting to be in this elevated, following your love, following your passion energy, and then you're feeling burdened by either trying to bring someone with you, or they could literally have a third party, so you're picking up on multiple energies and you're connecting with multiple energies, which can be overwhelming. Or it's really just an energetic thing of you being in the energy of third party, of not being fully committed to your higher frequency and considering this lower frequency. So it's like you being in a relationship with your destiny and then like having this like third party lower energy on the sidelines. You know what I'm saying? You said you gotta be itching my nose. It's a lot going on. I'm getting activated, you know, like... But yeah, it's giving third party energy, whether it's an actual third party. And I know, because myself doing readings, giving myself readings and things, I want to dive sometimes into like, you know, is it really a third party? But it's like, I even feel like Spirit is like that. It doesn't even matter if it's an actual third party. You bringing it back to you. Are you in a third party energy with you're supposed to be in a relationship with you and your destiny and whoever's involved in your destiny, and not supposed to be entertaining this past energy, you know? So bringing it back to us, again, not needing to validate our intuition, you know, because if we're picking up on scattered energy, then that's the energy. The energy is the energy is the energy, you know? If we're picking that up, and then we're inviting that into our field, you know, lowering our frequency. And so, as I say that, we have the Magician. We are allowing that into our energy, because ultimately, let me get one more. We have the Devil in reverse. Ultimately, this is how you get back your power. This is where we start to, like, when we take that radical responsibility over our choices, you know, and who we decide to entertain, if we are actually like participating in a balanced situation, the Justice in the reverse, this is how we break. What's actually coming through is breaking spiritual contracts, you know, breaking agreements. And like I said, that's my words. I just said earlier, you know, like, maybe I made a promise to something. Maybe it's things unsaid, like we've been talking about this whole thing. Maybe it's things unsaid. And there's expectations or agreements that are made energetically, you know, and by me showing up in this energy and participating in it, I'm agreeing to this energy. Those are spiritual contracts. This is frequency. You know what I'm saying? Spirit is saying, Justice in reverse, you're at any time at liberty to break a spiritual contract by taking your power back and not participating in something and voicing it and being like, I'm not going to participate in this. You know what I'm saying? And that's when we break this chain. This is where we get the power back. And literally we have the manifesting card, the master manifestor, the alchemist, all of those things. This is where we start to get our power back and be like, just because I agreed to something before, now with the new information that I've been presented and it's not sitting right with me, what you don't even have to explain. It's a no for me, dog. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's giving. And this is when we start to move on our merry way. The Knight of Pentacles. It's like, I'm going to take my pentacles and I can do bad all by myself, essentially, you know, but it doesn't look like you're doing bad. It looks like we have the Knight of Cups and we have the Knight of Pentacles. So there are offers coming into you, or you're attracting those offers into you. One could be very creative or very romantic, very like heart opening, and one could be very tangible, like someone actually offering you a position, an opportunity, you know what I'm saying? That's safe, because the knights are on a journey and they're going to get to where they're going. You know what I'm saying? And the Knight of Pentacles, of all the knights, it's the slowest moving, but it is inevitable that he gets to his destination. That's why I love the Knight of Pentacles, because he's like, I don't care how long it takes, even if I have to do it on my own, you know, I'm going to take my pentacles and I'm going to do it the way that I feel called to do it, you know. And especially when we have the leaving behind that Page of Pentacles energy, is like, I'm not accepting breadcrumbs. I'm on this journey and I'm being committed to myself, and I'm going to do this my way that feels aligned with my heart. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, the Knight of Pentacles fucks with that. If you have a pentacle to add to my road, you know, on this journey that I'm on, then you can come on the journey. But if you don't have anything of value to me, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? We have the Fool in reverse. We have the King of Pentacles. It's giving false start. You might have thought you had a King of Pentacles, but it's just not really looking like that. You know what I'm saying? It's giving, this was actually a lesson, Ace of Cups on the bottom of the deck, to bring you back closer to yourself, to bring you home to yourself. It feels like also that, you know, the Knight of Pentacles, he's on his journey to the King of Pentacles. You know, that's the whole thing. He's on his journey to meet the King of Pentacles. That's his inevitable destination. So I'm not saying that it's not going to happen. It just feels like a false start, you know, with the Fool in reverse. You're still on your journey to meet your King of Pentacles, or to cultivate whatever you're cultivating, you know. But then we have the 7-7. We have 7 of Wands in reverse, and we have the 7 of Swords. It's a time for you to stand up against the illusions, you know, against the false start. You have to, like, essentially, Spirit is prompting you to break that spiritual contract, you know, to stop agreeing to things, even energetically, that you know are not aligned with you. Also, we do have 7-7 here, so this is a spiritual, very spiritual thing. So again, this could be, we did tap into like you need a lot of courage to do this, to move from a heart-centered space, you know, and to not conform to someone else's thinking or their manipulation tactics, especially here with the 7 of Swords. Yeah. But 7-7 being here means that you're very spiritually protected and guided on this path and doing this, you know. Confirmation. Anything else, Spirit? Anything else? By revisiting the past, you're able to find value in yourself and your intuition. Someone asked me on here, you know, what is the point of the Mercury retrograde? Why do the exes come back? For us to see ourselves clearly, for us to see situations clearly, for us to get our power back, for us to see value in ourselves. The Queen of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. We have literally the 6 of Cups and the Ace of Cups. By going in the past, you will find a gift. By going in the past, you will find your value. By going in the past, you will realize your self-worth. Don't get stuck in the past, you know, when it revisits you, for you to gain something from it, you know. Literally the 3 of Swords. It's heartbreak. Sometimes it's hard to go back into the past and not get stuck there, you know. You said this is such a beautiful reading, and it definitely was divine timing because I accidentally clicked on TikTok notification. I love that. Yes, I feel like I wish that, you know, my videos circulated a little bit more, but, you know, we're doing the damn thing. The people that are called to the reading will somehow find the reading. I genuinely trust in that, you know. And like I said, if you haven't been here for the full reading, it will be posted on my YouTube channel. So not immediately, but not too long, like maybe in the next few days. But there are tons of readings if you feel called to go back there and like just shuffle it and see what comes up for you, you know. But yes, we do have what is coming through very strongly is that you will pick up on, when you do set this boundary and you find your value and you do the thing, you rip up the spiritual contract essentially, you know, and you're like, I'm not participating in this anymore. We do have heartbreak coming from an Emperor again, but it's in the reverse. Someone that it feels like did not answer their call. We have the three of Wands in reverse. They got nudges. They knew what was coming in, especially if they're aligned with this collective. That means that, again, in some way, shape, or form, there is alignment there, or there was alignment at one point. So they get their nudges too, even if they're not as psychic or in tune or whatever you would like to say. Spirit communicates with people just the way that they need, despite if they call themselves spiritually gifted or not. You know what I'm saying? They got their nudges and they decided not to act on them. The Three of Wands in reverse. They wanted to be in this energy of seeing what comes in for them. How can they, you know, and this comes from wanting a little bit of control because they feel out of like, especially with this here, the Emperor in reverse is like a micromanagey, you know, control kind of freak, you know. And instead of acting on their nudges, they decided to take the route of separation, of control, you know, only willing to give a little bit here and there because they were scared to fully be open and have the courage to open their heart. So it looks like we have the Hermit in reverse. This person did not do their reflection work. This person, and especially if we're talking about exes here, you know, there was plenty of time, it feels like, for them to integrate the lessons that they were supposed to integrate. As I say this, we have the Ten of Swords coming out in the reverse. They have not gotten over their own betrayals, their own self-betrayals, maybe in this past, in you guys' situations, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they have their own hang-ups, whatever the case may be. They did not do the work. And so they're in this energy of trying to control the situation and not really giving to you in a very reciprocal way. And so it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, you know, that they are they also had the opportunity to participate, to actually collaborate. You know what I'm saying? We have the world here. Oops, she got her boobies out. The world. So that means a new cycle. I feel so bad for abandoning him again, but I was clear on what I needed and what I wanted in my life. He hasn't done the work. Absolutely. And even watch, like, invitingly, lovingly invitation, a loving invitation of, like, watch the language, you know, you're not abandoning him. He abandoned himself. He didn't listen to his nudges. That's his own self-betrayal. You know what I'm saying? And that has nothing to do with you doing the work for you, similar to how you don't do the work for him. You do the work because it's about self-mastery and loving yourself and being full, and then being able to be in a divine union that can pour into each other's cups. You know what I'm saying? If he's not doing the work, he's mad at himself. You know what I'm saying? He's not mad at you, but that's where people, like, you know, do that projection bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You said, thank you for reframing that. Yes, because you're not abandoning anyone. And most importantly, you're not abandoning yourself. You know what I'm saying? By setting these boundaries and demanding what you deserve, that is the ultimate form of self-love. You know what I'm saying? We have the King of Wands in reverse. So again, being in his ego, letting his ego control the show, and missing out on an opportunity to, again, I mean, it's kind of like literally as I'm saying things, Spirit is like pulling out the cards, but like missing an opportunity to actually transform something. We have the Death in reverse and we have the Hangman in reverse. So it's like they did not change their perspective on the situation through love and forgiveness for themselves and for the other person. And so nothing is able to transition into the next level, into like this next, you know, level of love, because they have not transitioned in their own level of love, you know? You said, yes, his ego is huge. And we have the Judgment in reverse on the bottom of the deck. Again, not answering the call. And like, we can't, as the collective being very spiritually attuned and things like that, it's exhausting. It's two things coming through. It's exhausting to be the bridge for other people when we're doing our own work. You know what I'm saying? And then two, we can't be so, what's the right way to say it? Naive. It's like naive, but also big-headed, kind of, in the way that we think that other people don't receive the same type of downloads that we get. Or maybe they don't receive downloads in the same way. Everybody has their own unique gifts and how they interact with Spirit. But to think that Spirit is not actively giving them signs, you know, we kind of bypass that, I feel like, ourselves when we're like overdoing the work for them, as if they haven't had the same opportunities, you know, that Spirit isn't interacting with them in their own unique way. You know what I'm saying? Yes, yes, yes. I've always been the transmuter and the connector for him. And that's exhausting. That's exhausting. Yes, we have the Nine of Swords. It's exhausting. You know, it throws off your energy. You can't sleep good. Like you said, things like kind of get off balanced, you know. And so Spirit is saying that this collective may be feeling like, oh, I'm at a crossroads. I don't know what to do. They're asking you to make a decision, and the decision ultimately should reflect the value that you found of yourself, verifying your own intuition, and backing your own like self-love. You know what I'm saying? Filling your own cup. What is actually going to make you feel good? What actually makes you feel good in this moment? Also, again, we had, going back to the beginning of the reading, touching grass, you know what I'm saying? Earth healing, unplugged from mass consciousness. When you are grounding into yourself and your body, when you have that space, time, and distance to be alone. Damn, confirmation verse. You know what I'm saying? When you have that time to be alone, what feels good for you? What feels true to you? What has this person actually, what are the receipts? You know what I'm saying? What is the data? What is the emotional data? What is the physical data? Or are we getting high off of the idea of something? You know what I'm saying? The potential of something. And not like actually having it realized, you know? Especially if we have a very intuitive collective, which it feels like we do, you know, it feels like we can literally tap into somebody's higher self and like, me and my friends say it's like microdosing off of that and not like actually seeing the person as they are presenting themselves, you know? You said this is literally bringing tears to my eyes. Sending virtual hugs. But for real, like, I feel like this is a very heavy lesson to move through. Like I said at the beginning of the reading, it's like relationships are a big deal, like a huge deal. If we really zoom out, we have a relationship with everything. Even inanimate objects, we have relationships with these things. We have relationships with food. We have relationships. So the idea and the concepts of relationship is a magnified thing that we go through, like on the earthly realm. And so these interpersonal connections that we have with other human beings, where there is emotion and energy being transferred back and forth, this is a big deal. You know what I'm saying? And so these are hard lessons for us to learn, that ultimately always the purpose of them is to bring us back home to ourselves. And when we're at home with ourselves, does this person, it's just like, again, like, I don't know about your parents, but my parents always taught me, like, if you're going to somebody's home or something, you bring something with you. If you're going to a gathering, you bring something with you. What are they offering you? Okay, like, if this person is coming to me, and I've done so much work to create a sturdy, safe home for myself. What does this person offer me? Are they just coming in and fucking going in my fridge and not even like saying hello? Do they take their shoes off at the door? You know what I'm saying? Do they show me any respect or reverence for all of the work that I've done on myself? Do I show that to myself by demanding that when people come at the door? You know what I'm saying? So that's my little rant. You know, anything else? Ooh. We have the High Priestess. It did come out in the reverse, but it did fly out. But it's saying, to me, this is two things. It's like, stop ignoring your intuition. You're very intuitive. But also, it's time to say something. It's time to come out of the shadows. It's time to bring clarity to this. There's power in voicing something. You know what I'm saying? You said, right, which is ironic because he buys little gifts for me all the time, but I think it's a distraction. Yes, exactly. The energy is the energy is the energy. If somebody is doing something and they're keeping tally marks on you, that is not like actually offering you something. If they're still emotionally holding back. Oh, I had shuffled and I forgot to pull this card out too. This reminds me though, Four of Pentacles. This person is in the miserly energy, you know, like, again, control, trying to like hold on to what they have, you know, and it's coming from a place of wounding, you know, of trying to save themselves. But if someone else is presenting to them a safe environment, they can't recognize that because of their own, you know, clouded judgment, their own wounding, then you're working like with an uphill battle. It's an uphill battle to get somebody to give to you in the same way that you can give to them, you know, and that I feel like also, especially with this like very intuitive collective or very emotional collective with the Queen of Cups here, it's like your emotions hold value too. I'm giving you this and this is very vulnerable for me too. You know, like I deserve that reciprocity. The Empress. And I shouldn't have to come off of my throne either to prove anything to you. I'm the Empress. Duh, I'm the Empress. I don't have to come off my throne to prove anything to anybody. If you don't see me for who I am, then I'll be by myself. Knight of Pentacles. I'll be in my own energy, flourishing, listening to my spirit guides like Snow White. Every time I think of like Knight of Pentacles, I think of the little birdie sitting on her shoulder, just giving her beautiful little intuitive nudges, telling her how to cultivate her pentacles, you know, all the beautiful things. She's stable, she's beautiful, she's a baddie, you know what I'm saying? But she's off in her own world doing her own thing, you know? So they're saying that you can't have both right now. It's bringing you out of balance, you know, the Two of Pentacles in reverse. So I feel like that is, the messages are very clear. So I feel good about that. As I tried to put the cards down, but they kind of like splayed. I said we had Judgment in the reverse, so someone not answering the call. We have the Seven of Cups, you know, showing right here, which is that confusion energy. But then we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. You're not confused. You're just not being very confident in the decision that you know you should be making that aligns with your higher self, you know, like your self-worth, you know what I'm saying? And being confident in that despite maybe having to be alone, you know what I'm saying? Yes. Said we got two women talking at the same time. He said, what is that noise? I don't know. What two women, you know? You said exactly. Thank you so much for this. Yes, I want to wrap up with Positive affirmations. Positive affirmations. Okay. What does the collective need to hear right now? I am in sync with the flow of life. So ebbs and flows. You know what I'm saying? He said, sorry, it was the other program crossing in. Yeah, sometimes TikTok does that with the lives, you know? It's weird. Yes. Thank you for providing that direction. I'm in sync with the flow of life. You know, ebbs and flows. Things come and go, you know? I love how that flew out. When I move my body, I feel empowered, cleansed, and strong. So again, getting back grounded, connecting back to our body, trusting the sensations of our body. I claim my desires. I hold great visions. I am ready to receive. So especially if you have been in, I love also like this peacock feather thing. It's like, again, your authenticity, your truth, you know, but it feels like if you've been calling in bigger and better things, you know, I am ready to receive. Do we have room to receive? Are we settling for less? Are we actually receiving what we're calling in, you know? And then we also have, I trust that my intuition is always leading me in the right direction. Let me get one more. Uno más, uno más. I celebrate all of the greatness in my life. Beautiful. Okay, and then bottom of the deck it says, my power lies in my peaceful presence. So again, this situation may feel like big, depending on where you're at in your journey and what this represents to you and all of these things. But I feel like ultimately they're calling you to be like in this place of, hold on. Okay, there we go. TikTok always doing weird things. They're calling you to be in this place of power, this place of peace. It feels like there doesn't need to be a conversation. Actually, it feels like it just needs to be a decision made and you communicate that decision because you're validating your own intuition. It's not a thing of like, so I was thinking da 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 da, you know what I'm saying? Or I've been noticing, voice whatever you feel like you need to voice, you know? But it feels like ultimately ripping up of a spiritual contract, relieving yourself of any karmic debt, you know, not holding on to things that are not of the same frequency that you're on. Something that's just coming through too is like when you're having conversations, or maybe you've already had conversations with said person, if you guys are literally saying things and they are not connecting, like I'm saying something and this person is not understanding what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? It's literally like I'm speaking a different language. They do not get what I'm saying. That is like a thing. You know what I'm saying? That is like a clear example that they're not on the same frequency. It's like they can't receive the information that you're saying. You said, right, I need to be assertive and decisive. Yes. The more decisive that I have become, the easier my life has been. And there are always times where I feel, you know, we all deal with that. We deal with fog every once in a while, but this is why it's important to have our cleansing, grounding routines and time to ourselves. It just feels like, yeah, there's nothing to really ruminate on, only like invitations to connect with our bodies and see how you feel, and then make a decision from that feeling to validate your own intuition, you know? But that is the reading. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I love that you guys were so interactive in the comments. I really appreciate that. And I'm inviting you to go check out my other readings if you feel called to on my YouTube channel, the Touch of Venus YouTube channel. I think it's linked in my bio. And if you'd like a personal reading to like dive deeper into your specific situation, or if you want help with any of these concepts or anything, all of my bookings are available on touchofvenus.com. Okay. I hope that you have a beautiful night. Good night.